Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moon Mage. Today's tarot messages are connected to the full moon in Pisces. Now, this is a full moon lunar eclipse, and it's a full lunar eclipse. So essentially, this is a full moon on steroids that's happening, so far more heightened energy around it. I always tell everyone, if you're not interested in listening to what these new moons and full moons are all about, that's absolutely fine. You can go ahead, look at the images, feel which one is drawing you in using your own intuition, and then that'll be your message that is connected to what this full moon in Pisces is asking of you or highlighting for you. But for those of you that are interested in hearing about what the energies are that this full moon eclipse brings and how to navigate it, because it can be a little bit turbulent for some of us, I'm going to go ahead and explain some of what that is all about right now. So this eclipse invites us to look at the polarity between our day-to-day life, the mundane, our needs, our wants, our desires, how we're doing just in general on a physical level. But because this is happening in Pisces, Pisces wants us to say, okay, to look at negative patterns and thoughts and just in particular, energy and people that might not be good for us, that maybe we've been avoiding having to look at those things because they're hard or they're heavy, or it might mean that we have to make a big change. This Pisces full moon may highlight those things, whether we like it or not. It throws up epiphanies, truth. It's a bit of a chaos maker in that sense. It can really shake things up so that we can transform and say yes to a new beginning by almost kind of being forced to look at what we're afraid to look at, the dark aspects, the pieces that are not comfortable. That could happen. It doesn't mean that it will, but there's definitely a potential for that and lots of heightened emotions. In general, lunar eclipses are connected to relationships. So they can bring turbulence and trouble to the relationship sector of our lives. It doesn't just have to be romantic relationships either. It's all kinds of connections. So you could make an argument that expect the unexpected in these areas and keep your wits about you so that you can move through any turbulence that have to do with your connections, partnerships, romance, or friendships, community in a healthy way, rather than making it worse or more difficult. But there's definitely an energy here around not avoiding those hard conversations. This would be the time to really come to bring yourself to the energy of, okay, I'm ready to see it, even if it's uncomfortable, so I can make changes and decisions around it. I wrote a few notes here just so I wouldn't forget anything. So in general, this is bringing about clarity and truth around our emotions, around our negative patterns. Our emotions will be heightened. And also a spontaneous awakening and things like that could happen at this time. More spiritual connection. So it's a really good time to meditate and to journal. Anything to do with creativity is a positive. It's like thumbs up. Yes, lean into that. Writing, creative projects, creative inspiration could come through at this time. Again, spontaneous awakening where we're just all of a sudden connecting to things and having all these epiphanies that are quite profound and could be very life-changing can happen at this time, as well as spontaneous healing. So those pieces of ourselves that we haven't wanted to look at or heal because it's hard or heavy could spontaneously come up for healing. We could get activated in that way, which could cause us to feel a little off and destabilized. So for those of you who have been doing some healing work, and you're not quite there, this full moon energy is really good for a completion of a healing of sorts within you that will create a new beginning for you moving forward. Using discernment right now is a really good idea, and being very mindful of the way we show up in all situations, really. This is not to say that you should be holding back on your true feelings or your thoughts. Honest conversations are a good thing, but being mindful of the way we deliver messages and things, always a good idea under a full moon eclipse, especially a lunar eclipse of this nature. But again, leaning into things like creativity, art, writing, anything that's creative is going to be really positively uplifted and up-leveled at this time, but it's not a great time for making solid plans, signing contracts, or trying to necessarily get something off the ground at this time. Because there is that energy of truths and epiphanies and chaos and change coming in one form or another, whether it's in a small way or big way. We don't know because we haven't experienced it just yet, but it makes it not the best and most stable environment for, again, signing on the dotted line, doing anything new. It's better for connecting to our soul self, for getting really creative, getting really inspired, seeing the truth, and then making decisions from that point. So that's all to say that these messages rather are going to be centered in and around the energies that are showing up for you, that you should be leaning into or leaning out of, what needs to go, what stays, etc. So give yourself a second to feel into messages 1 through 4 using your own intuition. Don't overthink it. Look at the images, see which one's drawing you in, and I will get started here with message number 1. Actually, I should say too, really quickly, I put out a full moon in Pisces meditation. It's just a short meditation to hopefully help you connect to the best and most positive aspects of this lunar eclipse. So if you're interested, you can have a look at that. Okay, so again, have a look at those images, see which one's speaking to you, and I'm going to get started here for real this time with message number 1. Hello, message 1. So I pulled the 3 main overarching energies, but we will look at them together just to save some time in the video as I do. Okay, we have surrender to the divine, and it's full moon energy. It's funny because this full moon in Pisces is very much about surrendering to the divine, usually because there's something very big or profound that wants to come through for us at this time, or a spontaneous healing, awakening. And I talked about that in the intro, and I feel like there's a connection to that for you guys. So making space for divine connection at this time is going to be a really good idea for you guys. Moon dance and celebration. Okay. Moon dance and celebration. Sorry, I'm just going to go like that and have a look at the card. And there's a couple in there. But this is coming out on the side of challenge, so we'll have to see what else is coming out with that. Moon set and releasing. Okay. So you have an opportunity under this full moon energy to let go of something that has been hard, heavy, negative, affecting you mentally, emotionally, and obviously not in the best way. This is a really good time for you to let go of that. And it looks to me that if you make time for this, release this, I'm holding on to this energy that's blocking me from celebratory energy, beautiful connection where I feel like there's a lot in this connection to be celebrated and enjoyed. If that's been an issue for you, you're coming into this energy under this eclipse full moon to surrender this, to release it, to have a new beginning start as a result of you letting go here in some kind of way. Really, really a strong message here for you guys to make space, whether it's walking meditation, actually sitting in meditation with the intention of connecting to spirit, or journaling and allowing things to come through you. I'm most feeling like for some of you, try some automatic writing and just see what comes through, what you receive. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if it sounds silly, I feel like it will come together at some point. Almost like you'll be able to connect the dots once you zoom out and look at what came through. I just feel like that could be a really good thing for you guys. I definitely get like a sadness here for some of you. This is general, so it makes sense for all of you, but I feel like you've felt blue or been heavy with sadness, almost like for others too, like apathy, where you feel a little bit numb. And there's something about this full moon that's offering up an opportunity to release that heavier energy. Passing waves. Trust in the journey and know each change leads to deeper understanding, fluidity of life. passing waves, yeah, turbulence, emotional heaviness. And this is Pisces, so it is water energy. It's emotional. And this is definitely something I feel like you guys have been in, and it's been hard. Whatever has happened or transpired in your life that's created these energies, you're coming into this opportunity to shift that out. But I think it's been really hard, and it is really hard. We're trying to let go of things that have happened, that have created imprints on our heart, good or bad. And I feel like for some of you, they've been quite heavy. But this is saying to trust where you are right now, even though it may not feel very good for some of you. It's just a part of life. What goes up must come down. And, that's to say too, if you've been in a more of a down energy, this is Spirit's way of saying this full moon wants to help you go on the upswing, start moving, getting back on track and moving more upward and coming out of these passing waves, these emotions that have come in and bowled you over in some kind of way. It's time for the sea to settle, so to speak. Look at that, resilient beauty. Life is more than just surviving. It's finding ways to thrive in adversity, slowly unfolding. And you've got fluidity of life, feeling like you haven't had anything to celebrate, like things just haven't been doing it much or moving or going anywhere. And again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. This full moon wants to help you with this energy. So I'm definitely getting like they say yes to this, make space for this, and trust that even if you are in a harder, heavy emotional energy right now and you're not sure how to get out of it, that you are the resilient beauty here that this card is suggesting. And I know we hate to hear it when things have been hard or heavy, but we are fortified and strengthened through hardship, not through everything just being gumdrops and roses, right? Even though that's a great energy to be in and we should enjoy it when it shows up for us, we become the best version of ourselves really through the hard things, because we learn and we grow. But I think it's been difficult here for my message ones by what's showing up here. It's funny because I feel a couple of things. I feel like for some of you, it's definitely in relationship and connection that things have been very, very hard and not moving. But I think for others, there's like a disconnect from your soul self where you feel like, they're just going through the motions in some kind of ways is what I was going to say here. Oh, shoot. I've got a card that flew out. I'm going to have to pick that up. But you are resilient. This too shall pass, like the energy here on the passing waves card. But there's just this feeling of Spirit really wants to get your attention. Like I'm almost feeling like this energy of being tapped on the shoulder. Like, hey, excuse me, we've got something to bring to you. We've got some healing energy that we want to move through you and help you release so that a new beginning can happen where you have much to celebrate. Okay, I just have to pause the video and pick up that card. Okay, so the first card that flew out on the floor for you guys is Rest and Rejuvenate, which makes a whole lot of sense, right? That's what we got right out of the gate, was time to surrender to the divine, to create space for this connection to happen. And it's the number 4, which I'm noticing, which is the number of angels, solid foundations, feeling more grounded as well. And it's also connected to the heart chakra. It's the 4th chakra. So some things to keep in mind. Transformation. And it's a 13, which reduces to a 4 in numerology. I think 4s might be speaking to you at this time as well if they haven't been already. Yeah. It's weird. It's sort of like that energy of, by stepping back and feeling like we're doing nothing is when so much transformation happens. That's what it's feeling like here for you guys. Hope. Yeah. Rest and rejuvenate. Allow transformation, which will be beneath the surface right now. It'll take a while for it to fully culminate. And holding on to hope here, right? By surrendering to the divine. And I think many of you have likely been feeling more hopeless than in hope. But I get the feeling that Spirit wants to ship some of this kind of positive energy your way, like up-leveling your energy field. That feeling of spontaneous healing, if you allow. It feels to me like that could really be a thing for many of you. third eye chakra. So vision, having a vision, being open to psychic insight and spiritual insight. First, by clearing out your own third eye chakra and connecting to the vision that you hold for yourself, your future, your relationship. Look at that light, right? Releasing, surrendering to the divine. Look at the way she's receiving. I hear you. You know, I think pay attention to song and sound. Message one, I think that might be one way that you guys will receive divine downloads and messaging, listening to music or hearing a conversation, or, you know, you could be in the grocery store and somebody says something and all of a sudden it just causes this strange epiphany to happen with you, or like, oh my God, I know that message was for me. It's going to be like that. But you've got all this light that wants to come through, healing energy. I feel like for some of you, this is going to be around connection and romance. And for others, I think it's for you to reconcile some sort of disconnect, some sort of disconnect that's happening within your soul self and you as the human, as the avatar, as the body that has the soul residing within it, where you feel disconnected from it. I feel like there's a coming together that could happen for a lot of you. And it's not going to be just, you know, after one meditation or one understanding or spiritual message. I feel like it's going to culminate over the next little while, which is why I feel like there's this overarching energy of holding on to hope, you know, and staying resilient, because it's slowly unfolding. But now is the time where it starts to break apart this old heavy energy for you. But a big feeling for me here is this blocked vision to what your soul is longing for, what your soul needs. I feel like because it's showing up for you here with release, there's releasing part of that block is going to bring in massive spiritual vision and connection, where you do see the truth around something. You have a better understanding. You feel more enlivened again. This feels quite deep for you guys. But remember, you know, oh, look, it's on the bottom. Universe. And then you've got surrender to the divine. I think that normally message one, you are a quite psychically inclined, or normally feel like you can trust your intuition and you're connected to it, and your soul self doesn't feel like other or separate. I think that might have been a place that you've been in before and wanting to find your way back to it. And, you know, sometimes that can happen because we lose ourselves in connection, whether we're growing apart in that connection or we get too caught up in the day-to-day things that we forget that aspect of ourselves is super important to bring in every situation. I'm not sure. It's general. It could be different for all of you. But massive healing energy coming in for you guys, if you allow, under this full moon energy. It really wants to show up for you. It really wants to up-level your game, reconnect you to your divinity, to your soul self. You know, and I just keep having that feeling of this too shall pass. So anything that's been hard or emotionally heavy, or anything that shows up for you that's hard or emotionally heavy, I feel like it's happening for you, not to you. It's going to be for a good reason, so that you can pivot and make changes. Okay, so the first card that came out here was, I know my shadow side and I work to willingly to okay, I'm going to reread that. I know my shadow side and I work to willingly transform aspects of it. Yeah. And this is transformation, releasing, you know, surrendering to the divine, receiving all that light energy, light body activation, a healing, spiritual connection. This is a huge ask for you at this time. Really, really make space for this message one. And I want to say too, don't get discouraged if the first time you create space for this, nothing happens. It's going to be a bit of a journey. It's going to be a slow unfolding, but so worth it, I feel like, for you guys. I enjoy the serendipity of life. The unexpected can be wonderful. Yeah. You know, because like I said, for some of you who haven't experienced Whatever this turmoil could be or emotional upheaval could be, if it is showing up for you in some way, small, big, it doesn't matter. It has that message has that feeling of it's happening for you, not to you. Right? The unexpected can be wonderful because it can lead you to a whole new direction in life where in like a year from now, you look back and you're like, I'm so glad that happened now because I wouldn't be here living my best life, experiencing all this love and my connection and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it definitely feels divinely orchestrated if that should be the case for many of you. Look at this. Wow. Message 1. It's 999. Number of, it's a very spiritual number, but it's also the number of humanitarianism and completion. Loyalty, responsibility, truth, love, light, spiritual realm, growth, and solutions. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up, for the best is yet to come. I love that for you guys. And I feel like that goes so well here with the messages that have come through for you. Spiritual realm really wanting to connect to you. I feel like a spontaneous healing, awakening, making more space for this aspect of your life. The spiritual side of you is going to bring in profound and beautiful change if you allow. And this is talking about speaking your truth more. What emotions are you tamping down? Maybe for the sake of others, for the family, for not stirring the pot. Maybe it's time to. You can do this in an assertive way and in not an aggressive way for the best and highest good of all. Yeah, so 9s and 4s, I think, here for you guys. Pay attention to those numbers. I think they're going to be quite meaningful for you guys. All right, I'm just going to cap this off with a final... Oh, your card flew on the floor. I am going to have to pause again. That came out quickly, though. Sorry about that message, one. Okay. All right, we've got this image, and that is a girl in a wedding dress put her hand on the gentleman's back. So there definitely could be some difficulty, crunchy energy in your relationships and connections, especially romantic, because we've got that partnership there in the challenge position, right? It says you're alone, but you feel someone caressing your hair or gently touching your back. The angels are giving you a needed nudge forward. Accept their encouragement. Wow. Maybe there is something that some sort of truth that some of you have come to and you're having a hard time actually acting on it. And this is your heads up, your affirmation and confirmation from spirit saying, yeah, go for it. But for others who have been feeling alone, you're not. Expect to feel this more spiritual touch in and around you. Embrace it, trust it, believe it. It feels like there's so much behind the scenes happening for you guys, an up-leveling around connections, a healing for you, a reconnection to that soul self. Very powerful, very profound, very deep. If you allow, if you create space for this, if you lean in and trust, if you speak your truth more and allow your emotions to be expressed more often as well. Again, I'm going to read that one more time because I was really messy with it. You're alone, but you feel someone caressing your hair or gently touching your back. The angels are giving you a needed nudge forward. Accept their encouragement. And I would add, and their connection, right? Surrender to the divine, spiritual realm, and now accepting their encouragement and their touch. You're being helped big time right now. Message 1, or the spiritual realm really wants to help you, but you need to allow it. They need your permission and that space to get through and bring things to you. All right. I don't think there's anything else I need to touch on here for you guys. I hope that all of you give yourself this space. I would be so curious to know that if you do, and I highly recommend you do, what sort of things came through for you? What happened? I almost feel like some of you might even experience some like healing sensations in your body. things stirred up so much too, that you see truths and have understandings that you never had before, that feel so impactful for you in a positive way. All right. I'm really going to leave that there. And I hope all of you have the best day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. So as I normally do, I went ahead and just pulled the 3 main overarching energies, but we will look at them together. It says a time for healing, balsamic moon. All right. So I did mention that this energy under the full moon in Pisces can bring spontaneous healing and a lot of emotional connection, and kind of bring to the surface the dark underbelly that we don't often want to look at. And for whatever reason, maybe because it's the balsamic moon and it's saying it's time for healing, I feel like that's part of the equation here for some of you. I think that many of you could experience some sort of understanding that brings about a massive awakening and shift in your life. But we will see what else comes out with this before I get too far ahead of myself. Okay, the moon's reflection, accept responsibility, and it's coming on the side of challenge. So where might somebody be mirroring you right now? Maybe it's in partnership, maybe it's in a connection that's been difficult. Either way, somebody is likely acting as a mirror to you right now, and could be showing you aspects of yourself that are in need of healing or that you don't want to acknowledge. And this is suggesting taking responsibility for those pieces or whatever we might have brought to the table or experienced in a way that affected our connection, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is like that pain body. Sometimes our pain body shows up in our connections and our experiences, and it isn't something that we do consciously, but it can affect things in a negative way. And there's something about you and those of you watching this that chose message 2 that have these pains and these emotions and these heaviness, heavy energies held within your body that need to be released and healed out because they are affecting maybe the way that you're showing up. And again, that sense of somebody maybe mirroring these things back to you, and it's uncomfortable. And this is suggesting taking responsibility for those things is the big ask under this time. And I don't feel like it's meant to bring this frustration to you where you're like, you have to look at what your part is in this. Yes, that's part of it. But I feel like it's more for that release that it'll bring, the shift and change that it'll bring in doing this. This is hard shadow work that you're being asked to lean into, message 2. Also, I just feel like for some of you, something could be reflected back to you in a way where you see these things about yourself. Where you're like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have done, said, acted, or showed up in that way, but I see why I did now. That was coming from this pain, this pattern that I had that started here. And oh my gosh, I see the truth of that now. And I'm going to let this go because this is not helping me. It's hindering me. It's like that. The falling moon, and it says release blocks. This is what I'm saying. I think that you have the potential to not only release these blocks and heal these energies out, but I feel like have massive truth and epiphany. I feel like you're definitely somebody who could have like a Kundalini experience or a massive awakening as a result of seeing these things within yourself and letting them go. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else comes out with that. Yeah. I feel like it holds a mirror up to your face and helps you to see the truth of, why was I showing up that way? Why did I say that thing? Why do I overguard my heart in that way or hold back what it is that I want to say or do or how I really feel? Where's that all coming from? And how did that affect my situation? It's like that. It's quite deep. As was message 1, I must say. But I'm not surprised because this is a lunar eclipse happening, and it tends to bring these kinds of energies to the surface, especially negative patterns. Dark wisdom. Find strength and clarity in solitude and trust the value of insights you gain. Silent watch. Wow. That goes so well with seeing the truth about something, seeing something reflected back to you and being able to release it and heal it out, receiving this dark, might feel like dark wisdom. It doesn't actually seem like dark wisdom to me though. It's beautiful, really, in its essence of how it, of what it shifts and changes in your life. This is what I'm trying to say. I'm going to read that again. Dark wisdom finds strength and clarity in solitude and trust the value of insights you gain. Silent watch. Yeah. You've got spiritual connection coming through for you. I feel like you will definitely receive answers and wisdom through meditation, contemplation, taking that time out for solitude. I think it's going to bring in something very, it almost feels like for some of you, it's going to feel quite shocking and maybe emotional, but in the end, it's going to be the best thing that could happen because it'll help you to release these things, these blocks within you. You know, I'm really attracted to the crow, the raven. Maybe blackbirds could be also spiritual messengers for you at this time. Are we speaking to you in some kind of way? Now we got another bird energy here. Vivid splendor. Trust your ability to shine and make a positive impact by being true to yourself. Bold confidence. Okay. Nice. So this is kind of what results and what comes from you doing this work and letting go. So perhaps too, some of you have been holding yourselves back, not stepping into the spotlight, not allowing yourself to be heard or seen as much as you should be. There's likely a reason for that, a deeply rooted emotional reason why you hold yourself back in this way. And it's about recognizing that, taking responsibility for that and saying, I'm going to change it and show up differently. Because you're meant to. You're meant to. Something wants to show up for you, message 2. That wants to see you in bold confidence and trusting in your ability to shine and make a positive impact. I wonder if some of you are quite spiritual, or if you have certain gifts and talents that you are aware of and not using. Yeah. I feel like for some of you too, there's this energy of I'm not good enough. And I will say, this is general. It's not going to be for everybody, but I wonder if some of you are holding your back yourself from literally being seen. Like maybe you want to do something on social media or YouTube or the internet, and you're afraid to put yourself out there. Maybe you don't feel beautiful enough or attractive enough or handsome enough, and you're hung up on that. There's something to that for some of you, I think. Of course, this is general, so, take what resonates and leave the rest. But I feel like for some of you, you generally don't feel attractive enough to do certain things or to be showing up in, all your vivid splendor. Okay, this was the first card that fell out, so we're going to go with that. Yep, awareness. So we've got accepting responsibility. We've got dark wisdom, releasing blocks, a time for healing. All of this is suggesting that you are about to become very aware. And I think right now there has been a block to this awareness, this understanding, but powerful energy wants to come through for you to help you with this, where you are aware, where you see the truth of things. I think it leads to a much different way of showing up in the world for you guys. Yep, new beginnings. New beginnings. This is what I was literally just saying. A new beginning as a result. You've got 1 and 0. So perhaps 10s, 1s, 0s could be speaking to you at this time. Pay attention if those numbers show up for you. 10s, though. I'm really feeling like 10s. Yeah. With this awareness comes a new beginning, a new understanding of yourself, a release of an old negative energetic heaviness and emotional thing that you've been carrying. Yeah. Solar plexus. So maybe doing a little solar plexus work too, which is the chakra where you would use the affirmation, I am powerful, I am strong, I am confident. Something's definitely missing in this area for you, message 2. Not feeling good enough, capable enough, smart enough, beautiful enough, whatever it is. There's some sort of responsibility that you need to connect to with that this is some sort of self-esteem issue here. And I really think it's been preventing you from showing up for yourself in the best way. Okay. triumphant success, and you've got another one. Wow. So we've got 1031. I'm really noticing the numbers for you guys. So whatever that may mean for you, triumphant success is on its way to you. But remember, that is as a result of doing the hard work up here, taking that responsibility, looking at your patterns, looking at your thoughts, your negative beliefs and systems that you've been holding on to for far too long, and allowing the healing and release to happen here. And then showing up, right? That is where you get to triumphant success. And the waiting game, being patient with what grows as a result of this, what changes and shifts as a result of this. You know what, guys? For you too, I feel like there's this like 6-month energy where you start doing this healing work. You start having this spontaneous awakening, and you're seeing the truth, and you're taking responsibility for maybe some long held beliefs that keep things sticky and not comfortable or not moving forward, whether in connection or purpose. And all of this starts to shift and change over a 6-month period. The waiting game. And now you've got the number 2. So you've got 0, 1, 2, 3 here. Very, very interesting. So staying patient through this process, not trying to rush it. Because I feel like for you, who you become on the other side of this is so fantastic and so beautiful and so wonderful that you wouldn't want to rush it. Because it's like every step of the journey, sort of like the 0, 1, 2, 3 matters for you guys. So like hang in there, say yes to this healing energy, this work. And then you'll be so amazed at where you land, where it takes you. Wow. Okay. You know what? On the bottom of the deck is recognition and reward. I think this is where it's taking you. And it's another 3. So we've got 0s, 1s, the lonely 2 over there, and 3. 2 3s, 2 1s. I feel like all this could be important for you guys. Recognition and reward. This is where it takes you. That's amazing. All right. And birds. Birds, I think, going to be messengers for you guys at this time. So pay attention to the birds, especially blackbirds, but any birds really. Okay, this one fell out. My words and actions are of beauty, compassion, and love. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is the words you use to describe yourself. But if it's not, if it is for others, that makes sense with accepting responsibility. Once we've said something, we can't take it back. But we can recognize that maybe it wasn't helpful, it wasn't kind, it wasn't necessary. So, again, being mindful of this energy, my words and actions are of beauty, compassion, and love. Yeah. I feel like for a lot of you, it's more towards yourself, though. I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. And if you have some blocks that need to be released, you likely would be manifesting or attracting from that lower level, right? Because we are blocked, because we have a pattern or a system that's just not working for us anymore that needs to be released and upgraded, essentially. So by doing this work, you become this. This is exactly what you end up attracting for yourself. A magnet to all the good things, to that recognition and reward, triumphant success. I am magnetic to what I want. I repel what I do not want. I feel like in general, too, that would just be a really good affirmation to use at this time for you guys. Yeah. All right, I'm going to pull an angel card here. I wonder too, I keep getting this feeling of maybe some of you have recently had a disappointment and you're trying to reconcile it. Don't allow whatever this disappointment is, if this resonates for some of you, to have you going backwards or to have you dull your shine so much that you've boxed yourself up again or overprotected yourself, put a big barrier around you. Because that could just delay future gratification. And there's definitely a lot of future gratification showing up here. And, I was just remembering too, with that 6-month energy I was feeling, full moons and new moons have a 6-month arc. They connect to the following new moon in that same sign, which is in and around 6 months 6 months time. So something about the next new moon in Pisces, I feel like could be quite powerful for you guys, or bring about a big shift of some kind or a new beginning. But you'll be more ready for it and in receptive mode and clearer. Look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, and we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, and now we got 4s. Benefits, culmination, results, benefits, reflection. You've got that twice now. And completion. Take stock of your accomplishments and how you arrived at them. This is a reminder to maintain optimism and drive toward your goals. Maintain your momentum and know that the powers of heaven have your back. You made it, and the reward goes to you. It says, that's crazy. Recognition and reward was on the bottom of the deck. You've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep doing the work. Keep climbing the steps. Vivid splendor, shining your light, and that energy that I just spoke about not going backwards if things have been difficult or sticky. Right? Because this is saying to take stock of your accomplishments and maintain your momentum. Right? Staying patient with the waiting game there. Things really want to shift for you. But it looks like for my message twos, it's an inside job at this point. It's about looking at our internal world, or maybe things that have happened or that have been said and done within a group or community or partnership that might need to be shifted as well to get to the next level. And there's like following the steps along the way. It's like, here too with this like new beginning energy, and then awareness with that, being patient, seeing triumphant success, standing in your power, and then this, reaping the benefits of it. It's definitely like a little bit of a map here for you guys. All right, let's cap this off with one final message here. I highly recommend, message 2, that you give yourself over to a little bit of meditation, contemplation, journaling, looking at yourself and your blocks, looking at your internal dialogue and seeing what it's having to say that is not true, not necessary, even so much as understanding where it came from so that you can make changes around this, because I feel like it opens things up so massively for you. And I definitely get a sense that for some of you in 6 months' time, your life could look entirely different, where you're experiencing this triumphant success in so many ways. When you sense the sweet fragrance of roses when none are near, or unexpectedly see rose petals far from the garden, an archangel is sending a blessing of divine love. So a bit of a heads up there too. Maybe some of you already have had this experience, or that you will. Just know that if you experience this, that roses, the scent of roses, all of a sudden out of nowhere, there are angels nearby. So be open to their connection. And fours connect to the angelic realm too. So they'll be there to assist you at this time. They may have something to say, want you to notice, or just to let you know that you're not alone and that you're being helped and guided through your situation. And to keep going, I feel here. Yeah. I feel like you're going to have a lot of assistance, spiritually speaking, right? I feel like birds are speaking to you, numbers are speaking to you, that being able to connect to the spiritual realm through scent. And, I think the crown too, with that awareness, like channeling their energy and their wisdom. Yeah. In a quite powerful and profound way, if you allow this healing energy to come through. It just feels like where it takes you is just a place you could not have imagined. Like, I just can't believe I'm finally here. I've finally arrived, and being patient through the steps that have to be taken to get there. Okay, I'm going to stop banging on about it. It just feels so important for you guys. All right, I'm going to leave that there, and I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. So I went ahead and pulled the 3 main overarching energies, but we'll look at them together. We've got new moon and Capricorn energy. It says your hard work is paying off. So a little bit of a being championed and cheerleaded right now. Keep going. Don't take your foot off the gas necessarily right now. Everything that you're doing is going to be worth its weight in gold moving forward, but we shall see what else comes out with that. I also think that that card tends to show up when we're ready to give up or let go, or maybe we're just in the thought of, is this really worth it? Am I wasting my time? And this would be, no, you're not wasting your time. You're doing all the right things. Moon memories and the past. Okay. So this is coming in the challenge position, suggesting that maybe there's some things from the past that hold you back, things that happened, maybe that went wrong or sideways or that didn't work out for you. You might be holding on to those past memories, and it's creating some fear within you, making you second guess and question, am I doing the right things? Is it all going to work out for me? And I feel like it absolutely is, that your hard work is paying off, even if it's not as fast as you want it to be. But there's something within the past that needs to be released, because it might even be holding the situation back a little bit. Or it could just be that your thoughts about your situation are rooted in things that have happened in the past. And this is just sort of, Spirit's way of saying, we want you to recognize this and not give up. You're doing really well. Everything's going really well. Keep going. Ring around the moon and protection. Love that for you. I feel like this is like another heads up from the spiritual realm saying you are protected. Everything is safe. Everything is fine. Your hard work really is paying off. You're not wasting your time. You should not give up on this. Again, it's just linked and connected to memories from the past that maybe where you felt like there was perceived failures or things just didn't go the way that you had hoped. Or maybe for some of you, there was even something sort of disastrous and there's fear that it could happen again. But I feel like whatever it is you're doing right now is safe and protected. And you can relax a little bit and know that you are really doing all the right things, message 3. And this could be in relationship for some of you, because I'm noticing that little couple there in that window. It's 2 little black dots in there. It's just people. For some of you, it could be have been putting in a lot of effort and energy into healing a connection or making a connection work, and you're wondering if you're wasting your time because maybe you haven't felt that emotional up leveling yet there. But I feel like that for those of you who are experiencing that is going to happen. This situation, your relationship is safe and protected. And for others, I think it's much more broad than that. It's the work that you're doing, the literal work, the creativity you've been using, the hours you've been putting in to make something strong or better, or to learn a new thing. I know I keep thinking about learning new things for some of you. Radiant burst. Celebrate success and find beauty in both grand and subtle experiences of life. Moment of awe. Nice. And I think that maybe a lot of you haven't been allowing yourself to just take a step back and be like, look at how great I've been. Look at how much effort I've been putting in. Look at the hard work that I have been doing, and just really appreciate it like you would a piece of art hanging on a wall, right? Celebrate success and find beauty in both grand and subtle experiences of life. Moment of awe. You don't have to have, created the Sistine Chapel, built the Sistine Chapel to feel like you've been productive and you've done a really good thing. It can be the littlest things that you've accomplished. But recognizing that, take a moment to pat yourself on the back when it comes to these kinds of things, because all it does is up level our energy in a way that makes us want to do more, so that we feel more of that. Guiding light. Allow the light to uncover hidden truths and provide direction in your life. Dispel confusion. What I love about this card is it goes so well with the Piscean full moon, the emotional and watery aspect that Pisces energy brings, and the profound connection it brings to the spiritual realm and to the universal consciousness. And I feel like you've been very much in that physical aspect, message 3, like the Virgoian energy, because that's the axis this is on, Pisces and Virgo. Virgo wants practicality, structure, and everything in their day-to-day life to run smooth, routine, things of that nature. But this energy is suggesting that you can and should allow more space for that more spiritual connection to come through. You are being guided. There's information to be received and had if you make space for this more spiritual side of yourself. Bringing them into harmony is the goal under this lunar aspect. And I feel like it's what could be entirely possible for you if you understand that you're safe and protected, that you should stop and pause and enjoy the success that you've had and disconnect from past things that make you feel fearful, worried, or anxious about your situation. Again, allow the light to uncover hidden truths and provide direction in your life. Dispel confusion. Yeah, so where you're stuck, Spirit wants to come in and help you. They want to lighten your load a little bit and show you the way forward, right? And the hidden truths, things that you haven't seen, information that you don't yet have, could definitely be coming through for you guys under this lunation. And it's so connected to the Pisces full moon, seeing hidden truths, having epiphanies, things being uncovered. And I definitely think that's going to be a thing from message 3s. And help with that, no longer confused. Now you have all the information that you need, and moving forward, you can move forward. And because it's guiding me, I feel like it's spiritual connection too. And if we have a busy brain, a loud brain, if we're overthinking and worrying a lot, which is really hard to reconcile, but if we're doing that, that information can't get through, and we can't see our way through we can't see the forest through the trees. I say that all the time. I think you know what I mean, though. Authority, yep. Being your own authority in this situation, knowing that you are safe and protected, taking the lead in some kind of way. Movement, choices, and decisions. We've got a 4 and we've got a 2. So these could be significant, these numbers for you. Yeah, indecisiveness, right? But where we're confused, we need to just allow this light to come in. We need to create space for us. We need to relax our energy and our mind so that the wisdom can come through. We're no longer confused and trying to decide what choices to make, what decisions to move through, right? This is what's on the literal cards for you guys at this time. Nice. 1, 2, 4. These are all the numbers so far, and I feel like they could be significant, so I'm going to let you guys know. Your hard work is paying off, and underneath that we have prosperity begins, and it's twofold, right? Prosperity and love and connection, healing energy around that for some of you, or a strengthening of a bond. And for others, it's literal prosperity, where you planted the seeds of something and it's about to grow in a beautiful way and bring in prosperity. Yeah. Okay, temptation. Bit of a heads up here. Do not be tempted to go backwards again. I think I said that at the start, or to give up on something, or to allow anything frustrating, hard, or the information that you don't have to cause you to go backwards, to make too quick or hasty of a change or a decision, or to panic in any kind of way. You've got time, I feel here. Message 3, even if you don't feel like you don't have time with a particular thing, truth wants to come in. Revelations, things that you need to know before you can take the next step in your personal evolution, your relationship, in what you're building. Just a heads up here. Not to do that, I should say. I'm sure you knew I meant that. And awareness. So you've got 2 1s, a 2, a 4, and then 15 reduces to the 6. Awareness. This is what's the result. Receiving that truth, that wisdom, that information. But this is your big heads up, I think, to really pay attention to here. Message 3. There is temptation that's surrounding you, maybe to want to finalize something, sign something, just be done with something so you don't have to deal with it anymore. That could be a little too hasty where you don't have all the information. Just hold off on that. This Pisces full moon is not good for finalizing plans or signing contracts or anything of that nature. And usually it's because there is little pieces that we can't see. So if that resonates with some of you, just know awareness and truth are forthcoming. You are safe and protected. Your hard work is going to pay off. And you've got all kinds of prosperity beginning as a result of all this hard work and the seeds that you've been planting. But stay in your power and your authority. Give yourself over to some more emotional break and spiritual connection, soul connection to yourself, because this is going to help with all the receiving energy. Breathing out a little bit, I think too, for a lot of my message trees, I think a lot of you are busy and just constantly on the go. And it might be time to take a tiny step back or a big step back for some of you so that you can receive this awareness, this understanding. Okay. Oop. I explore my wildness and dance and pleasure. Yeah. Yeah. Not being so serious, not taking everything so seriously for fear that, right? You're safe, you're protected, everything's okay. There's no need to rush. I explore my wildness and dance and pleasure. And this Piscean full moon, because again, it's the eclipse full moon, is so good for inspiration. If we're using creativity and lightheartedness, we receive even more of it. And I definitely think that's the thing for a lot of you. I teach people how to treat me. Yeah, so maybe some of you have been dealing with some difficult people right now too. It looks like that on the front. I almost feel like too, where there has been difficulty in connections, community, whether in career or love, it's about staying in this position, right? In your authority, in your power, not in an aggressive way, but more assertive and standing your ground on what you know matters to you. There feels like there's a lot of little small messages within a big message here for my group 3 choosers. Yeah, so of course I always say, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But yeah, I think for some of you, there's this energy or feeling of, I just want a certain thing to be done and over with, or I'm frustrated, or, on the flip side, I'm worried that all this hard work is going to be for nothing. And so there's this underbelly of temptation to do something too hastily, to pivot too soon, to sign on something without having all the information. And I feel like the big heads up here for you is to not do that, to step back, take a moment to appreciate where you've been, get into your power. It'll help you with your decisiveness, and it'll bring in that guiding light for you where truths are seen. Information that you need will be given. Okay, let's pull an angel card here for you guys. We've got 0s and 5s. Friendship, success, knowledge. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Success, knowledge, friendship, impatience, freedom, and optimism. When chances present themselves, seize them and do something out of the ordinary. Whether in your professional or personal life, you will find success by welcoming creative impulses and having faith in your own abilities. Trust in chance and take risks on opportunities that could change your life for the better. Right? Not settling, right? Not settling for less than because of some sort of fear or worry or concern. Not being tempted by what looks good on paper kind of energy, or what you feel like you have to do for whatever reason, fill in the blank, coming from something maybe from the past where it didn't go well. Big heads up for you guys. So 0s and 5s could also be speaking to you guys at this time. So pay attention to when you see these numbers, and new friendships potentially coming in for others. When chances present themselves, seize them and do something out of the ordinary. Whether in your professional or personal life, you will find success by welcoming creative pulses. Oh my gosh, I have to slow down. You will find success by welcoming creative impulses and having faith in your own abilities. Oh, my Lord, I really need to slow down. And we were just talking about that, right? How this is such a good time for creativity and all things creative, and having and receiving creative inspiration, but we have to step back and make space for it. We have to breathe out a little bit. And I definitely think that's a thing for you guys. I think creative inspiration and ideas will be coming in for you that are quite impactful to your situation. Just something to consider. All right. I am going to cap this off with a final angelic message here. But message 3. Don't doubt where you've been and what you've been doing and how everything that you've put a lot of effort and energy into, no matter what it is, has been worth it. It really has. You are in a time and an energy where you are safe and protected from harm. Okay, we've got 2 cards that fell out. And you can relax and have fun a little bit more. And allow yourself to get into this energy of receiving spiritual connection and guidance. Because there's definitely something coming through about that for you guys. Okay, we've got 2 cards that fell out. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger who brings revelations, solutions, and inspiration. Moments of sudden clarity may be a sign that Gabriel has come to assist. Trumpet-shaped flowers, moonstone, or ancient writing implements may also appear. Nice. Wow, that's a lot of stuff there for you guys. And Gabriel is connected to the arts and communication. So if you deal with either of those types of things, you could definitely get some epiphanies around that. This is saying solutions, right? You've got hidden truths, information that wants to come through for you big time under this lunation. And then we've got call upon Shemuel for relationship help and healing, for she is the angel who teaches us about pure, unconditional love and forgiveness. She connects with you through the number 777, auras of pink light, pink flowers, hearts, and rose quartz. Wow. 777. Okay. So this could be coming through as a messenger for you at this time, or for a sort of a breadcrumb for you to be paying attention to for relationship healing and connection. And, you know, we see that here, right? And I said that your message in particular so far has many, many messages inside of a larger message, right? Because we've got prosperity begins here. We've got a connection there with a man's hand and a woman's hand, something coming together, a healing that can take place, prosperity beginning as a result in love. But I also think for others, it's in career or purpose. So yeah, there's definitely 2 messages or more coming through here. So paying attention to this energy. And calling upon Archangel Shemuel, especially if you feel hard or down or heavy within your connection, or things are not as smooth as you'd like them to be at this time. Call on Shemuel to help smooth that energy out, as that says. And using, rose quartz can be really helpful to keep you open-hearted in this situation. All right, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I don't think so. Oh, you know what? Another card I forgot flew out behind me. I'm going to have to pick it up. 1 second, guys. Holy lordy, guys. So I forgot that when I was shuffling, one actually flew across the room, and it was this one. So you actually ended up with 3, which makes sense because I feel like, again, there's so many tiny messages within a bigger message for my message 3 choosers. Anyways, the dragonfly is a spirit messenger that captures your attention for a reason. He may be reminding you that transformation is possible and that you have support from the angelic realm. Wow. Okay. So for you guys, lots of numbers guiding you right now in many different ways and along many different avenues. One of them being the dragonfly. So pay attention to when that shows up for you as well as Gabriel and Shemuel. And this ancient wisdom and this ancient writing, for some reason, I think some of you might come to some sort of understanding, epiphany, or solution by something that you read. That's just something I kept being pulled to, so I'm just going to say it because I think that might be true for some of you. All right, I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. I pulled the main overarching energies, the 3 up here, just to save a little time, as I normally do. But we'll look at them together. Okay, we've got be bold and make the first move, and it's cardinal moon. So cardinal moon goes really well with being bold and taking action on something, because cardinal energy is all about action, taking action. So where are you holding yourself back a little bit, and why is probably the question to be asking yourself at this time. But you've got the heads up from the spiritual realm, from the universe saying, yes, go for this thing, whatever it is, whether it's towards a person, a situation, an opportunity. Don't wait for it to come to you. Move towards it. Okay, maybe support. So maybe some of you have been feeling like you're lacking support, and this is part of the reason why you haven't been bold and you haven't taken action on something, because it's coming in the side of challenge, and that would be challenging. It's hard to move forward when we don't feel like we have other people, supporting us, cheering us on, believing in us in some kind of way. It can feel even scarier to do that, to be bold and move forward. But I feel like if this has been a challenge right now, I feel like there's something here about being able to flip the script on this, that by taking action and moving towards a situation, a person, a thing that you want, it will bring in the support. No longer will it be a challenge for you, even if it's something that's missing for you right now. Moonlight Serenade, change your tune. This always makes me think like a frequency up leveling. Like there's something held within your energetic body, probably a mental narrative as well, that is creating this frequency that where you're not feeling like you can attract the things that you want, that you can move forward, that you're in alignment. But I think this is what wants to happen for you. A big shift in this area of your life where you notice those narratives going on in you that are not going on within you, rather, that are not helpful, and it shifts and it changes, but it starts with you saying, I'm going to change it. And one of the ways that you do that is by, baby stepping your way towards that thing, person, situation that you really want, and not waiting for it to come to you, even though you might feel like you're lacking that support. Yeah, I definitely think this is a frequency thing. I think it's because of that Pisces energy, that Pisces full moon eclipse energy is asking all of us to invite in healing, to look at the energy that we're holding, the negative patterns, so that we can finally be rid of them and move forward. And I think that that's part of the equation here with change your tune, your frequency, and your thoughts. I definitely think that where some of you feel like you're not being supported right now, I think that whatever this thing is, that you will be. Sorry for all the throat clearing here, guys. My allergies are in full force. I think it's this card here. Oh, two. All right, let's go with that. Save shelter. Believe in your ability to remain secure no matter the circumstances. Inner strength. And then we've got a crab there. That's Cancerian energy. More water, more emotions. Wowzers. Okay. Believe in your ability to remain secure no matter the circumstances. Inner strength. And it makes so much sense that you would be needing to find that sense of inner strength and feeling safe and secure when we're lacking support. But I feel like this is just your sort of like your spiritual team jumping in to say, we've got you. You've got this no matter the circumstances. This is something that you should absolutely be moving towards and taking action on, right? And believing in your ability there. Here's like a cheerleader's message. Like you're being surrounded by cheerleaders right now in the spiritual realm that you can't see, which is unfortunate when we don't feel connected to that are really trying to nudge you in a positive direction. Yeah. Okay. Radiant burst, celebrate success and find beauty in both grand and subtle experiences of life, a moment of awe. Yeah, and I feel like that comes next to that change your tune. Once you've changed your tune, you really do notice the little things, not just about the situation, but in yourself, even more importantly, in yourself. Like celebrate every little win, every little tiny step that you take in the direction of your dreams or this thing where you do take action, especially if it scares you. That's brave and it is awe-inspiring. And it's great to be inspiring yourself right now, message 4. Yeah. Celebrate every success. I don't care how small you think it is. It's worthy of your own awe and admiration for yourself. And I also just feel like some of you are going to have some sort of burst of positivity and energy happen for you as a result of you moving towards this thing and, you know, facing your fear and doing it anyways, you know, shifting that energy, changing the tune within. I keep being pulled back to this energy of support. I feel like you will receive so much more of this. I also feel like maybe there's some sort of like recognition that could happen as well from others, where they start seeing you in a new light. I don't know why I'm feeling like that. I also feel like maybe music could be quite healing and soothing for many of you at this time, especially with Change Your Tune, and she's playing the flute there, the musical notes up there. Maybe even listening to sound baths, and literally looking online to see if there's anything you could play in the background as you go about your day. That's like with a tuning fork or something of that nature. I think it'd be really beneficial for you guys. Okay, emotional withdrawal kind of makes sense because we've got safe shelter here, right? Believing in your abilities, remaining secure no matter the circumstances, finding our inner strength. That's the whole reason to step back and allow for emotional withdrawal rather. And there's no better time than under this energy, this eclipsed lunar energy of Pisces, because we get quite receptive to spiritual messages and connection under this lunar energy as well. All the more reason to give yourself space for this emotional withdrawal if you need it, to kind of recalibrate yourself, right? Change your tune. You got double eights, accelerated motion, movement forward, right? Eights are connected to karma, good or bad, but also abundance. Right? Abundance and prosperity. And I feel like that's the thing for you guys that wants to show up for you. And accelerated motion feels like to me things start moving in a positive direction for you once you take these first steps. It's sort of like the universe would come in and say, you take the first step and then we'll follow. Like, we'll catch you. Leap and we'll catch you. And then everything starts to move in a much more positive, healthy direction for you. I think that many of you have been experiencing some hardship, though, where it's been hard and sticky and frustrating, and a lot of emotions have been coming to the surface, or maybe feeling a little bit defeated in some ways as well. All this can be shifted for you guys at this time. Obviously not in one moment or day, though I suppose that's entirely possible, but over a period of time. Now you've got a 7, and it's the crown chakra, clearing out your crown so that you can receive that spiritual connection, that universal energy that wants to come through for you and help you accelerate your situation and move forward. Connect you to truth, to wisdom. Yeah, moving on. Okay. And that's the number 6. Moving on from this dark energy, this shadowy energy, into the light. Seeing the truth again, feeling more connected to yourself again, believing in you again, seeing that you have always had the thing and have been a light. Because I definitely get that sense. I think a lot of you are light workers. You hold a lot of light normally for other people. And sometimes that can exhaust us, right? But I think this is going to shift for you at this time. Where not only are you going to start to hold more light again, you'll be able to step out into it for others to benefit from it, but from a healthier place, it feels like, for you guys. And we've got that 6 and the 7 and the 8. This has been crazy. It's been happening a lot through today's messages for this. These full moon and Pisces messages have been, the numbers are like sequenced, and you're no different here. 6, 7, 8. Look up these numbers and their meaning, I think, message for. And again, you've got the double 8s there. Abundance, prosperity, a karmic shift. Look at that. Fertility. Yeah. And her heart is all lit up. Fertility, something's about to grow for you and shift and change, right? Once we've moved on, we've changed our frequency and our tune. We get this massive up leveling, radiant bursts, new support coming in. But it all starts with us, you know, changing our frequency and our vibration, up leveling our energy, bringing that light back up again. and then taking action, not sitting on inspiration. Whatever this fertility is, it's creative, which again, this lunar aspect is so good for creativity and creative inspiration. Lean on it, move towards it, utilize it, plant new seeds, and then move towards them. Something really wants to grow, I feel like, through you, to you, and as you in some ways. Yeah. Okay. Let's pull a couple of moon cards here. Sometimes too, I think we're waiting for things to be just right, for the stars to seem so aligned that we couldn't possibly say no to it. And then usually that sort of energy never happens, where everything is just perfectly succinct and harmonious. And so we hold back, or it's perfectionism for some of us. We're waiting to be to our standard of what we think is the right perfection of ourselves. Is that what I'm trying to say? Oh Lordy. Just perfectionism. I'll just say that. We think that we have to be better, learn more, do more before we can fill in the blank. This is what I'm trying to say, just not very eloquently. I say that to say I think that might be true for some of you. And I have a card that popped up on the floor, so I have to pause and pick that up. Sorry about that, guys. The card that fell on the floor says, I am connected to the earth and all life around me. I'm wondering if some of you have felt really disconnected from the earth plane, from the day-to-day physical life, kind of like living up in the mind a little bit too much. So needing some grounding. And with the crown chakra here, it's almost like as above, so below. So this clearing through your energetic centers, I think, would be a really good idea for some of you to partake in. And or again, listening to music that has frequency healing in it. Yeah, I feel like that would be a good idea for you guys, so that you feel harmonious in those aspects, as above, so below. And actually, it goes so well with this axis, because Pisces is water and emotions, and it's very spiritually connected. When we're leaned into the Piscean aspect, it's very, very much connected to spiritual awakening and universal energy. And then it's on the axis of Virgo, which is very practical, mundane, earthy, stable. So it's about trying to find your balance in these two energies, being of the utmost importance for you guys at this time. I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. Yeah. Creating space for this radiant burst, celebrate success and find beauty in both the little and the big things in life. Allowing yourself for those moments of awe. That feels very connected to this for me. I choose to nourish myself and enrich my life. Making you a priority. Knowing that part of enriching and nourishing your life is by moving towards the things that you really want. No matter how scary or no matter how imperfect you think that you are, even if you're telling yourself a story that you have to be better because, or you're not good enough because, it's just a story. It's not what's true. And I really do feel like on the other side of that is support that comes through. But start here, right? Add back, change your frequency, get into this connection mode where you're receiving that universal support and wisdom and guidance, bringing it right down through your roots into the earth plane here, into the physical, because then you have growth. That is the result here. Something starts to shift, something starts to move, changes start to happen, and they feel very heart-centered for you guys. I keep hearing that song, is it Christina Aguilera? You're beautiful in every single way. Words can't bring me down. I wonder if somebody had said something to you, some of you, that really kind of rocked your confidence a little bit. But this moving on card too, suggesting moving on from what's been said, what's been done, the places that have kept you stuck, or the things that made you feel less than. I feel like that's definitely a part of the equation for some of you. Wow. Okay. 555. And the keyword here is success. Balance, finances, success, wealth, and cycles. What goes around comes around. A lot of money is coming your way. Wow. Fortune refers to more than just monetary and material success. If you don't appreciate the people in your life now, you won't have them tomorrow. This message encourages you to take personal responsibility and use it to realize your greatest potential. And you know that line there, if you don't appreciate the people in your life now, you won't have them tomorrow. That support, lacking that support, I feel like it's definitely connected. There's been a thing there for you. But massive success that wants to come in. Prosperity, abundance of all kinds. And you know what goes around comes around. Letting go of pain, things that others might have said or done that really rocked your confidence, like we were just talking about, or made you feel less than in some way. Don't worry about them or about getting revenge or getting back at them, because as this says, what goes around comes around. Only focus on you and what you need through that emotional withdrawal, healing, changing your frequency, getting reconnected, as above, so below. It's going to bring in beautiful things. Yeah. A lot of money is coming your way. Fortune refers to more than just monetary and material success. So yes, for some of you, it is going to be money and monetary and prosperous in that way. But for others, it's going to be a different kind of success that makes you feel good. I feel like body, mind, soul, or connects you to your direction, to people or a person that are better for you moving forward, that are more aligned with you, that are more connected to who you are. But we're going into that safe shelter right now, right? We're using emotional withdrawal to change our tune and to get ourselves sorted so that we can start moving forward and see that accelerated motion and growth come in. All of these readings have felt like a map, a roadmap, where it's like, here's the first step, here's the second step, here's the third step. Okay, Archangel Raphael helps heal the sick and injured. He conveys his presence with auras of emerald green light and the number 999. His flowers are the iris and lilies of the valley. Emeralds and malachite help you connect with his healing energy. You know, I feel like some of you are healers yourselves. I don't know if you know this, or if you're aware and you recognize that you too are in need of healing and you know, a tune-up. I feel like that could happen for you and accelerate your healing abilities and capacities. But for others, it just makes sense with what's showing up here with needing a frequency change and needing to have some emotional withdrawal right now to maybe move through some hard things that have happened or transpired or things that people did or said. All this is being shipped your way under this lunation. And remember too, this lunation is not just the day of, it's for the week leading up to it and weeks afterwards. And actually has a 6-month arc all the way to the new moon in Pisces that will be next year. So I say that to say to be patient with yourself. Yeah. Massive healing coming in for all of us under this lunation, if we allow, if we take the time to let it come through. And you are no exception, message 4. Okay, so you've got 5s and 9s and 8s, all kinds of numbers jumping out and speaking to you right now. So pay attention to when you see these, what your thoughts were, how you were feeling, what you were thinking about, because I feel like it's all going to be connected for you. They're messages of some sort. All right. I am going to leave that there. And I hope all of you have the most amazing, beautiful day. And also give yourself over to a little bit of withdrawal right now. I think you will be so happy that you did if it's connected to you making you a priority and your energy a priority. It just feels like it's going to flip the script in your life in a really good way. Okay, I'll leave that there. Take care, guys. Have an amazing day.